Hey friends, long time no see, and I know I'm hella late, but Happy New Year. Welcome to the Chaotic Creative. I'm your host, Dee Brown, and I am super grateful to have you here. Today's video is going to go into social planets. Last video, we were into our social planets, not social, excuse me, personal planets. Now we're going to go off just a little bit further. So, handy dandy notebook. What are our social planets? Our social planets are also called transpersonal planets, and they represent who and how we show up in society as we mature. The best way I saw this broken down, it was on a Quora thread, and I'm gonna probably edit that into the video later. But they described it as our personal planets being us as children, like kindergartners and stuff. Well, not kindergarten, babies. And then we branch off into kindergarten and grade school. And we get older. We see what's tolerated, not tolerated, how we make our money, and things of that nature. And according to stellardays.com, Jupiter and Saturn are what stands between what's purely personal and what's otherworldly, and represents two opposing instincts that we must learn to integrate in order for our personal self to function in society. One shows us where we test our boundaries and see how far we can go in a literal and physical sense. And the other is where we're constricted on our limitations and how we're tested when we're out of bounds. So let's get into it. First off, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is known as the great benefic for several reasons. It represents luck, expansion, our higher learning, religion, spirit, not spirituality, because there is a distinct difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality more so deals with Neptune, which is what we'll get into in our next video. Wisdom, generosity, charity, success, long travels, all things foreign, our faith in ourselves and in society, freedom, and things that require less effort, things that come into ease for us. And on expansion, Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. So depending on where you have Jupiter in your chart, if you're a person like me and has Jupiter sextile to ascendant, yeah. But I love it. It's more to love. So Jupiter rules the sign Sagittarius, and traditionally it rules Pisces. But in modern astrology, it's ruled by it rules with Neptune, meaning that it rules the ninth and the 12th houses. In Sagittarius or the ninth house, it manifests as a higher education, mental and physical, long distance travel, foreign lands, our sense of adventure, philosophy, mental pursuits, our faith and success, humanitarianism. And in Pisces, it can manifest as long journeys on water, the ability to go deep within the subconscious to find answers as a guru, mysticisms, intuition, strong mentors, psychology, and guardian angel energy. On the negative side, too much of anything can go wrong as well. Jupiter is also a teacher and can show us where we do a little bit too much. Things like, pleasure. Let's say you have an exalted, you have an exalted Jupiter. Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer, where things may flow and be super easy, in a sense that it also makes you lazy and unmotivated, because just because you think things are to come quickly, that you're supposed to get them, and likely they will. But where's the fun in that? Where's the motivation? Where is the lesson? Where is the excitement in that? And I actually have a, I guess I could say, fallen Mercury, but it makes me look, not Mercury, Jupiter a debilitated Jupiter, but it makes me work for my luck. And if you're already an astro person, you'll know what that sign is. Yeah, laziness, things come easy, lack of knowledge, poor judgment, lack of discipline, pessimism, and theft from, just thinking it comes easy because as easy as you can get things, easier. In Yoruba mythology, Jupiter is represented by the Orisha Obatala, known as the father of all Orisha. Known as the supreme being, it's said that he created what is earth and humans, is all knowing, all powerful, and is the beacon of purity and peace and ruled over the heavens. In Greek mythology, Jupiter is represented by Zeus. And unlike Abatala, Zeus became the god of gods when he defeated his father, known as Cronus, or planetary-wise Uranus, and led the gods to a victory against the Titans. It's a known fact that he is known as the god of the sky and thunder. It takes Jupiter roughly 12 years to travel the entire zodiac, which means it spends about a year in each sign, goes into retrograde every 9 months for a period of 120 days. And during those times, it's a chance to look inward for expansion, reconnect with self, realizations, and how we do faith, checking in on your spiritual health, a lot of questioning our education, our adult education. I should have put an emphasis on that, our adult education, because Mercury represents our childhood education, whereas Jupiter represents like colleges and so on, so forth, doctorates and whatnot. So lastly, Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer and is fallen in the sign of Capricorn, because Jupiter is so used to, let's go, and it's automatically going and, chilling. Jupiter doesn't want you, stressing about anything, but in Capricorn, which is known for, its work ethic, the goat and everything, the goat has to always go. And sometimes Jupiter just want to relax. It's the great Benefic. It's like, chill, homie. We got this. No, 3. All right. On to our second planet. And here's who I like to call Big Daddy. Be the planet of Saturn. Saturn has the not so best representation. Saturn is also known as the great Malefic, which is opposite to Jupiter. Known as the great Malefic, Saturn, also known as the Lord of Karma, he represents structure, discipline, anxiety, depression, and things that limit us or restrict us, karma, delays, denials, hard work, blessings after blessings, isolation, maturity, stability, responsibility, cruelty, authority, slow-moving, father figures, foundations, and disease. That's some shit, ain't it? That's a lot. That's a lot. I respect Saturn, but I'm scared of it too. Not even gonna lie to you. Y'all like my curls? So Saturn sounds scary AF because no matter how you try to spruce it up, and I say they proudly being a Capricorn dominant, Saturn rules the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius, and as a co-ruler, it co-rules Aquarius with Uranus. I'm stuttering a lot today, forgive me. Traditionally, it rules Aquarius, but modernly these days they're saying that Uranus rules Aquarius. He's over the 10th and the 11th, and in the 10th house or Capricorn, it can manifest as our ambition, positions of power, dictatorship, overbearance, unwavering dedication, obstacles, burnout, aches and pains. Jesus, aches and pains. Related to our joints, goal drivenness, aging with gracefully, or Capricorn dominant people, or Saturn ruled people. There's a good chance that you might age in reverse, look wise. Like, with all this war on TikTok, they're talking about millennials are looking good. No, y'all don't. Y'all just look good for your age. And it's okay to say that. However, Cap and Aquarius people do tend to age in reverse. You feel me? A fear of failure, low key, high. They say low key, high key. I ain't never met a Capricorn that don't party. They gonna do that, and they're some of the most partyish people. I love them. It ain't a party till the Cap get there, and I love it. And our grandparents. Another reason he's called Big Daddy, just not because of discipline, because it also represents the father, and Capricorn represents our grandparents as well as the 10th house. And it can be seen as old souls, traditional, and it can also represent career challenges. Now, in Aquarius, or the 11th house, it can manifest as a unique yet practical independence, individuality, a concentration on rebuilding humanity, detachment, emotional isolation, shaking the table for chaos' sake, rejection, solid social circles, if the right people, they're involved, unconventional avenues to success, strong-willed opinions, black sheep, and non-traditional. See, we got Capricorn that likes to build and likes to build and keep tradition. They like to build from the ground up. And Aquarius likes to oversee and see what can be done for the future. Capricorn is Saturn now. Aquarius is Saturn future, if that makes any sense. Though these are two different signs, the biggest takeaway is that one works on a higher octave for self and the other one works for the global scale. In Yoruba tradition, Saturn is represented as Amulu, the Orisha of disease and healing. He is known for punishing individuals with illness for their transgressions, as well as rewarding good health and well-being. It's also noted that, I don't want no beef, Orishas. Oh my Allah. The Lord, he's known as the Lord of smallpox. And it's said to never get on his bad side. He brought it and he also cured it. So yeah, don't get on his bad side. In Greek mythology, Saturn is represented by Cronus, the god of agriculture, generation, time, but not before he was a titan that had to overthrow his own father, Uranus. So that stuff is just nuts. By castration. And if we go back to another story, our last video, we'll learn that that's how Venus was brought, through her brother. Before going on a power trip and eventually being overthrown by his own son, aka Jupiter, his rule was regarded as the golden age, where things were fruitful, everything was good, the money was good, the people were happy, and the people were healthy. It takes Saturn 29.4 years to travel the zodiac wheel, spending 2.5 years in each sign. You may have heard of the infamous Saturn return. Those aren't the most fun, depending on where you know what? Saturn ain't fun. It's a lesson bringer. Hearing of the Saturn return, and that focus comes around our 28th, 29th birthday to 31. They say 30, but I'm going to go ahead and stretch to 31, 32, because Saturn does not mature until 33 years of age. And it tests our boundaries, all right? It tests our maturity, our relationships, overall checking in to see if things and people in our life are going to be here for our well-being, because if they are not, Saturn is going to, all of that. No lie. If you have Saturn placed in certain houses, a certain house, we'll get into that when we get on houses. If it ain't right, it's gonna get rid of it altogether. Ooh. It's not pretty most of the time, and it enacts karma as it sees fit. When it's in retrograde, it spends 4.5 months in that movement, and unlike other planets that's experiencing a debilitated, a weakened energy from the planet, Saturn is actually enhanced. So there's something else to think about. When Saturn goes into retrograde, it gets stronger. The energies aren't like confusing or there's no inner look. No, Saturn's just a little bit harder. So Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra and fallen in the sign of Aries. If Libra is what represents balance and karma and mediation in court cases, it works overtime. Saturn works overtime there. And in Aries, Aries is represented as the baby of the zodiac, the child of the zodiac. Children do not like discipline. And as an Aries sun, I do not like discipline, but I'm learning to, and it's actually beneficial. In conclusion, both of these planets work in perfect harmony when you think about it. They both teach us our lifelong lesson in one way or the other. Jupiter teaches us with ease and joy, while Saturn does so with a hard hand, and if karmic enough, a hard fist. LOL, but laughing, but very seriously. Both aim to show us who and what we're capable of accomplishing when we become diligent. I hope I learned you guys something today. Next video that drops next week, we'll be going into our last set of planets, the generational planets known as Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. I love you. God loves you. And I hope you love you too. Ooh, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share with your people. Be sure to follow us on all our streaming platforms, and I'll see you in the next video.